Oh, welcome.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you. Where are you tuning in from?
Austin, Texas.
Ooh, we were just talking about Texas. I mentioned that I want to visit Dallas. I've been to Austin before. I would like to come back, but I have not been to Dallas yet. So which one is it, Austin or Dallas? What's the better city?
Austin's always better. I feel like more to do, more outdoorsy stuff, and more cool, kind of funky people and music.
Okay. Ooh, funky people. I remember visiting Austin when I was like touring colleges, and it was like stay weird. That was a thing. I
Yep.
went to like the coolest school in the country, USC, shout out. But you know, I liked that. I'm a weirdo, so I liked it. Anyway, welcome. For anyone who doesn't know you, which I know that we're just meeting now
Yeah.
too, which is exciting. Tell us like a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are.
Well, my name's Jess. I'm the founder of Workology. And in 2005, I started a blog for job seekers and ended up getting fired from my job because of my blog, which was an anonymous job search blog. But that was
Wow.
my foray into entrepreneurialism full time. And I continue to provide like online training and in-person training for human resources, recruiters, and workplace leaders.
Wow. And specifically on what?
So I'm somewhat of a generalist, but and I kind of cover all the things. Like we have training for HR certification prep for Sherman HRCI on our website that's available. But then I also wrote a book on digital recruiting. It's called Digitizing Talent. So one of
Oh,
the nice things about being an entrepreneur is that you can have lots of interests and then create products and services around those things. So that's what I'm able to do. I right now we have some new training that is in pre-sale for artificial intelligence for HR and recruitment, kind of diving into prompt writing and ChatGPT type resources. And then I have another training on workplace investigation. So I kind of just go wherever like the my interests take me, and then I'm like, oh, let's make a training or let me dive into those areas.
super cool. I love that. I always love that as an entrepreneur, you can also collaborate with other people at your, whatever the whim might be, and I always love just hearing how other people do things as well. I think it's super interesting. And I after looking at your LinkedIn profile a little bit and doing some research, I also know that you talk a lot about like burnout and mental health, and you're yoga certified. I'd love to learn more about that side of you as well.
So I have always done yoga, I go with spurts. And during the pandemic, like a lot of people, I just kind of was like, what I want to do with my life. If we get out of this, like, what does that look like? And as an entrepreneur, I had two businesses I was running. I was working consistently 70, 80, 90 hours a week, trying to keep those things going. And I said to myself, like, what I want when I get out of this is not to be working 70 or 80 hours a week. And something has to change. So as soon as I was able, I started first with Pilates because I could get private lessons when things opened back up, and then transitioned over to yoga. But it's been really great for me to help with my mental health, my physical health, but just help me understand more about me. So I've been doing daily yoga and meditation for 3 years now, and
Wow.
last year, around this time, I guess I started yoga teacher training too. And so now I also teach at least 3 classes a week. And I really enjoy it. I focus on a different kind of yoga that people might not be familiar with. It's called Kundalini,
Yeah.
and it's the
Love
yoga
it.
of awareness. So it focuses more on breath and mantra and like meditation, some physical movement, but it's less about like hot yoga, like sweating it out, which I love, but and more about like tools and resources to help you battle or overcome
Mm.
burnout, negative self-talk, all those things.
I love that so much. I actually, in college, I was able to take several yoga classes and classes all about like balancing your health and wellness with like the rest of your life. And I learned a lot about the different types of breath that you could, practice. And there was even a story of this student who was diagnosed with cancer, and she was able to like, you know, obviously she also got some help from Eastern medicine, but she used a lot of breath work to
Mm-hmm.
help her through that, and eventually yoga as well. So I definitely understand the power of all of that and movement and breath, and I think it's something that more people are interested in.
Uh, it is, and I will say it's kind of out of necessity. If you look at the numbers, HR and recruiters are 80 to 90% and above burnt out because
Wow.
when the pandemic happened, we took on more work. And now, maybe our jobs have been reduced. And so we have the stress of the job search, or we're working with even smaller teams than we did in the pandemic. So something has to change. And for a lot of us, we don't have the financial freedom to leave our jobs or to go into the job market. But we do have the ability to make a choice to make time for ourselves to help get access to tools to help us maybe reduce our stress so that we can navigate at least the day-to-day kind of stuff that tends to pop up.
Mm. And a question for you. How have you seen your own story and your own experiences, and also your experience as a certified yoga teacher? How has that impacted your ability to show up for like other HR leaders?
I Some of my superpower is the ability to share stories and be honest and transparent and helping people find bits and pieces of their own reality through my stories. I was just talking to a friend, actually just before the interview, here who mentioned that my TikTok series on workplace investigations and as an employee, like what to do and how to take control, inspired them to contact the HR themselves at the place they were working to
Wow.
report their manager for harassment and different, behaviors. So I've always done those things. I think that I didn't realize because I was so burnt out that I was burnt out and that so many other people were experiencing it until I started taking a pause and then just shared a little bit. And it gives people permission to be able to explore or to ask questions, to be curious, which is what I want. And I'm happy to share my experiences in the hope that it can help others.
That's so beautiful. And honestly, it reminds me of my own experience getting into this industry of going through a toxic workplace and then experiencing a really great one and sharing that story and having, to your point, it takes a lot of guts to share a story that is, could be damaging at some point in your career. Like a potential future employer could not want to hire you because, you have a mental health thing, or you have a bipolar and you're open about it, or you talked about a former boss out there online, and I feel like it's just something that you have to learn to live with if you're willing to be the most authentic version of you. It's like, yeah, like what would I rather do? Would I rather fit into a box, or that where I could fit in anywhere, or would I rather be authentic to who I am and also help people, like for the sake of helping people, right? And then secondly, to also attract the types of people that I want in my life and who actually align with me, my purpose, my values, and my belief systems.
Well, I'm unemployable, so there's that. I can never get a regular HR or recruiting job ever again. And not because of the things that I've said on the internet, but just like my mindset. I was just talking with someone about how like I'm always problem solving and looking for a way to delegate or automate things. And that, unfortunately, is just not really celebrated in the corporate world,
Yeah.
where you're looking at different solutions, different options to help make your life easier, give yourself some space or place. They want you to put in the hours and do the work. And I'm like, hey, can I just outsource this to somebody on Fiverr and take care of it for me, so that I can go to maybe a couple extra yoga classes or take a course at the university.
I have a feeling that's such a good point. I do have a feeling that more people are experimenting with that and just not maybe not telling their employers that they're doing it, similar to like the AI tools and like leveraging those without necessarily getting the go ahead first. What do you think about that?
More power to them. I think that I would encourage you to do that, to give yourself places and spaces to be able to follow your passions or do things that you love. And it's one of the reasons why I love generative AI so much, because there are so many ways to use it to help reduce your workload, especially in HR recruiting, anywhere from 3 to 10 hours a week. And you just have to explore, be curious, and then ask questions. And I don't know why um, managers, leaders want to say like, hey, shame on you. Like, don't try to be smarter with your time. Or, hey, I know you saved 10 hours, but we're going to give you 10 hours more of work so that we can pay you because you're not working as hard. That's not the type of culture that I want to work in. So
Mm,
if you're working in a place like that, like these technologies can help you, but I would encourage you to use them responsibly. I don't want you to send me a DM and be like, hey, I lost my job because they found out I was using ChatGPT to do the XYZ. But it can definitely give you space to be able to be more strategic, or
right.
take some time off. So many of us are working 6, 7 days a week.
Wow. Yeah. Also, this is not financial advice. So just want to put that out there. Well, thank you so much for being here, for
Of course.
being vulnerable, sharing your story. And I like I really commend you for all the content you're putting out there. It's really incredible. It's so hard. Honestly, being a content creator is more challenging than people think it is, and you're rocking it. So keep doing you.
Thank you. I have a great team that helps keep me sane and helps make what I do look easy. And if you're interested in online resources, just head on over to workology.com. We have over 9,000 published blogs and courses to help HR and recruiting level up their skill set.
Love that. Workology.com. Go check it out, guys, and we will see you again soon.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye. Bye, Jess.